Hey there, and welcome to Rodan and Fields. We are super excited for you to partake in our Team East to West training. My name is Elizabeth Duggar, and I'm RFX Circle Achiever, and Rodan and Fields has been one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I am here with one of my best friends, Becky Crenshaw, our RFX Circle Achiever as well, and we have been doing this business for a really, really long time.
Great.
We're oldies.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But we're super excited to tell you about what you should expect from this. So you should be getting an email to be able to sign up for an app, a Remind app, and you have the opportunity to be able to have these training videos. There's about 17 or 18 of them fed to you daily. Okay, don't feel like you have to watch them every day, all right? But if you did, that would be great. And if the app is too stressful for you, that's fine. You can go to teameasttowest.com, password team, and intake those videos. Just whatever way best serves you, okay? Maybe it's every other day, maybe it's every third day, but I do feel that you should watch each and every video. They're not all done by me or Becky. They are wonderful leaders throughout our team, and they just really give you a great foundation to how to build this business. So this video specifically is how to work with your sponsor, and newbies how to work with your sponsor how to work with your newbies to intake these videos, okay? So this is training, but the real way that you're going to learn to build this business is by working with your sponsor. Daily communication. When I brought Becky on after being in the business for 18 months, she was not only very coachable, but we communicated all the time. And for you millennials, it wasn't always through text.
No, it was phone calls.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
What
was
did I say?
it was a lot of phone calls, talking on the phone, okay? So we really encourage you to communicate with your sponsor daily. And don't worry about, bugging them or texting them in the late hours of the night. This is what we love to do. This is how we build the business, and this is how you learn, okay? This is truly how you learn. So next, Becky is going to talk to you about the checklist.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go print out that checklist beneath this video. New consultants, that is just your roadmap for the next several weeks. And sponsors, you have a separate checklist as well, but it's good for you to print out the new consultant checklist so you all can work through that together. Years ago, there was a getting started checklist on our corporate website, and that's what I printed out and checklisted for myself as well as my new consultants for a long, long time before we had this. So this is just helpful because it's like, what do I do, And so do that first, and y'all get on the same page, literally, with that. And then the next thing you want to do, no doubt about it, is get your calendars out together and plan your big business launches. We do encourage you within the first 2 weeks to get that on the calendar so you can launch your business. It's a grand opening, and the beautiful thing about that is, new consultant, is that you don't have to know anything. That is what you're doing. We are falling forward in this business. We're learning as we go, and your consultant that you joined, your sponsor, will come and do the presentation for you. I remember Liz did the presentation, and I sat back with a notepad and wrote down everything she said, the order in which she said it, and that was a guide for me when I branched out and did my own events later. So you just welcome your guests, tell them to get some food and wine, have a seat, and then your sponsor's going to do the rest. So that's very important. A virtual event is wonderful too. We do encourage in-person first and foremost. There's something about being in the room. I also do what's called double headers with my new consultants, where we put 2 in-person events on the calendar within about a week apart, because a lot of people can't do one, but maybe they could do the other date, and that just gives people less opportunity to tell you no. And then if it's a no, then that's okay. You have a virtual on the calendar that they can plug in virtually if they can't go to either in-person event. And so I think that those are the most important things to be
For
doing,
sure.
because the rest of the checklist really is void without these dates on the calendar, because this is what you're inviting to. This is how you're practicing your language. This is how you're using your list to plug people into the events. And it's a way to help you on site, on the job training for objections, working with your sponsor for three-way calls, etc. So it's the most important piece of your training.
Absolutely, 100% agree with that. So your sponsor is your go-to person. Hopefully you like them and you enjoy spending time with them.
We hope so.
You did join them in business. However, we do understand that things come up. And so if you're not getting what you need, then we encourage you to find out who is in your upline. So who bought your sponsor in, or who bought that person in, until you get what you need. I guarantee you there's a leader in our organization that wants to work with you and help you, okay? So the next thing that we would like for you to do as a sponsor, if you're a sponsor bringing in a newbie, is to set the goal for this person. So many times I hear new people come in and the sponsor will say, "What's your goal?" Well, they have no clue what can happen in this business or what it's capable of. So it's very important for you as the sponsor to ask your newbie to quantify, what is your goal monetarily? What would be an ideal amount of money that you would look at monthly and be like, wow, this is changing or could change my family and my lifestyle and my perspective of this business. For example, mine was $500 a month. I literally thought $500 extra a month would have changed how I conducted my job then. What was it for you?
Oh.
She didn't have. It
I
was
didn't really have
Dollywood
one.
season tickets.
If I could just pay for a year's worth of Dollywood, then I made it in this company. But like $250 was like, in my heart, it was hard to even say it because it seemed unattainable. But
Yeah.
I surpassed that very quickly. So this is
Right.
such a great opportunity. So set your goals with your sponsor.
Yeah, so have your newbie, and we have that in the checklist, write down monetarily what they want to make. And the sponsor, that's your responsibility to communicate to them what the expectations are going to be and what they're going to have to do to be able to achieve that. So that brings me to my next point, which is setting expectations. So once you find out what's going to be a game changer for that newbie, then set the expectations for them. Let them know, okay, this is how fast you want to run. If it's 100 miles an hour, let them know I am going to run with you. If it's walking, then let them know I'm going to run however fast or slow you want to run, okay? All right, lastly, transparency is so key in this business. So most of the time, we bring in our friends and family, do we not? Yeah. And so we are coaching them and teaching them, okay, it's important not to act like a boss in this situation, but relationships can be kind of difficult. So make sure as a sponsor that you're communicating well. Know as a newbie that it's the sponsor's responsibility to coach you and to help you and to give you good constructive criticism and feedback. It's one thing I loved about Becky. She was very coachable. And so having that and knowing that going in, that it's very important to share, how you're feeling. Nobody is a mind reader in this business, okay? But having that transparency is so, so key. All right.
Yeah, and so we do want to encourage you that as you start reaching out and inviting and using all these good practices in the video, in the videos here on this website, we encourage you that, failure is part of it, rejection is part of this. And so that's a really good opportunity for you to give yourself lots of grace and realize that you're going to this is on the job training for sure. You don't perfect this and then start. You learn by starting. And so I'll never forget reaching out to my first business prospect, and I just said way too much, way too fast, and I texted Liz everything, and she said, don't reach out to anybody else anymore. You talk to me first. So I wasn't quite ready to fly, because what I should have done is run it by Liz. Is this appropriate? Is this good language? But I was ready to just go. And so she helped me work all my kinks out. and start building my business. So it's okay if you don't know everything. It's not about you knowing everything before you start. And then, like Liz said, just being coachable. I think that the easiest way to define that is just to be responsive. Mm-hmm. When your sponsor reaches out to you to check on you, how are you doing? Just respond back. Here's what I've done today. Because I'll be honest, like even as a sponsor, like we're nervous too. Like we want to make sure that you feel loved and cared for. And if they're not responsive to me, I'm like, gosh, what am I doing wrong with them? So even if you're like, hey, I'm kind of overwhelmed, I need another day to digest the videos, that's fine. Like we don't care. We just want to know how you're feeling. So communication and coachability is really important, like Liz said, that transparency. And then these videos are designed for you all to really watch together, meaning, hey, let's do videos 2 and 3 today, and let's touch base tomorrow, and let's discuss them. And then you discuss them and say, okay, let's go through video 3. It's a little, bigger, so just do that one, and then let's talk about it tomorrow. Yep. And just work through them. Some of them are short, and you don't need a whole day. Like you can do a couple, and then come together, and that'll make your training go by a little faster so you can get into action. So these videos are designed, as sponsors especially, we don't want to just dump our new consultants in here and say, good luck, let me know what you think. No, like walk them through and answer questions, because I know a lot of consultants are like, I don't even know what questions to ask yet. So this is where the questions come from, are watching these videos.
That's so true. Yeah, these videos are meant to just be a supplement. Becky is so right. And the real beauty of how to build this business is the hands-on relationship that you're going to have with your sponsor or your upline, and the on-the-go training that you get from them. So we welcome you. We are super excited that you have said yes, and we look forward to seeing your journey in Rodan and Fields.
You're going to do great. Have fun.